Welcome to NHL Hockey News Reporting. Yes, today we are talking about the Ottawa Senators season preview. And yes, we had a rebuilding team this year for 2 years. So, let's get into the 17-18 stats and the 18-19. Kind of understand that and kind of digest that and say what's going to happen in the 19-20 season. So 17-18 stats. 28, 43, and 11, 67 points. Of course, this was the year they were basically, surprised they were not going to make the playoffs after going to the conference final. The year before that, 16-17 season, Game 7, that one goal they needed in the double OT, they go to the final, they just couldn't do it. The whole thing. Carlson wasn't good enough. He was okay that year. And 17-18 season, Anderson started off really well, actually. And then after that Turris trade, he was not good. Duchesne was good, but he was just, too bad for them. And the team fell apart. And then over the 18-19 offseason, we had Carlson go to the Sharks, and a bunch of draft picks came back I think first and a second, and then all these youngsters came back the other way, and then all this other stuff, right? But the 18-19 stats were 29, 47, 6 for 64 points. I think we're expecting 64 points or around that being last because 31st, no playoffs. So we knew this was going to happen. It wasn't going to be, guess what, the playoff team this year. Yeah, we didn't think that, you know what I mean? We thought this team was going to rebuild, and, that's what it was meant for. To get started right back up to where the team needs to go back to the playoffs, right, one day. So, after that, at the trade deadline, they got rid of Stone, Duchesne, guys like that, Dzingel. They get draft picks. They brought some new guys in. Got draft picks here or there. Columbus, they got first round finally, so at least it wasn't fourth, but it was, I think, like 20th or something. So hey, it was still a good pick, right? Alright, so some new players that the Ottawa Senators picked up either in trade or UFA. Anisibab with the trade from Zach Smith for Anisibab. Of course, Zach Smith kind of had problems with the Ottawa Senators ever since the 17-18 season. Got raved down, the whole thing. No one wanted him, that whole thing. Now he's in Chicago. Anisibab comes back the other way. Definitely he'll be good guy on that third line, all around that, just to kind of give that good seniorship to the youngsters. Ryan Callahan went to the Ottawa Senators for Condon, and they got also a 5th round back or something. I forgot how the whole thing went, but they took on his contract. They got rid of Condon. They didn't want him anymore. Definitely they gave up on him. So Callahan is on the LTIR, long-term injury reserve, and he's gone. Hainsey is signed as the UFA after being with Toronto. And Zaitsev got traded with the CC trade. So they got rid of CC, and now they have Zaitsev. A little change up there. And then the ones who left was Smith, McCormick, CC, and Harper. So, not many left, but still a couple players left. So, these are kind of like NHL lines, and then I added all the youngsters to it, the ones that potentially can play in the 19-20 season. So you got Tkachuk, White, and Ryan. Definitely, Tkachuk is a great guy. You saw what he did in his rookie season. Looked pretty solid. Definitely he's going to build off of that. White looks like he's been really good. We saw a lot good from him last year. And Ryan's getting older, but good seniorship. Be that guy, be that leader that could really be like, hey guys, this is how you do more. This is how you win. This is how you do that. I won the Stanley Cup in Anaheim, so I can do this and that. That whole thing. Anthony DeClaire, I thought he was absolutely fantastic with the Ottawa Senators at the end of the season after being traded from Columbus to Ottawa for the Dzingel trade. I really actually enjoyed his play and how he scored. He scored a couple goals actually Ottawa. I was pretty happy what he did in Ottawa. Definitely. Pajot, he was injured for a lot of the season, a section of the season, so he was okay, but was hurt for most of the season, so you couldn't really do much about that. And then you have Battleson, and he looked pretty good. He's a youngster too, so you have a lot of youngsters on this team, as you can see. He'll be a great guy fitting in on that right wing there, definitely. And then you have next, you have Balslers, Rudolph Balslers, Anisabab, and Brown. Oh, I have Brown twice. Huh, that's funny. But definitely Anisabab would be that good seniorship, like I said. Balslers with the whole trade with Carlson, and going from the Sharks to Ottawa with the whole Carlson trade, like I said. And then Logan Brown, I thought was pretty good. He just looks like a really good player. I think he can start to take on maybe a half of role, maybe the whole role next year to really see how well he does. I think he's a really good player. I can really see some good stuff from him. Tyler Ennis, I thought he was really good in Toronto last year. Definitely, I saw some really good stuff from him. So I think he's going to be really good for the Ottawa Senators. And, a team that, a player that, lost his job in Buffalo, then lost his job in the Wild, and kind of proved himself a little in Maple Leafs. But that's about it. Moving on to Chris Tierney. Chris Tierney started off really well after getting traded from the Sharks and kind of petered out, But he's a good third, fourth line center for the team. Not a big guy, but he's there. Just, there for the show almost. No, I'm joking. Just to be there. He'll score, but not as much. And then Mikhail Baku, a good senior guy. He's around 30 now. Definitely, I could see him get traded at the deadline next year. I could really see that. Actually, in my mind, I could see Baku deadline trade bait. To kind of get some draft picks back maybe, or something back, a youngster or something for Baku. I can see that happening. Formanton, I really like him as a youngster. Definitely I've seen some good stuff from him. I think he'll have a much better season next year. Like, he's so good, he's going to build off of it, definitely. And then Brown, well, I just talked about Brown. Haha, that's funny. But I owed him twice. I didn't mean that. And then we have on the right side there, Verno, I can't say his name, I'm sorry, right there. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. But, he looks really good, a good youngster. Yeah, a lot of youngsters, like I said. And then Klaparik could be kind of that guy, maybe third, fourth line, in and out of the lineup, to kind of get himself into that lineup, definitely. And then Abanoff, he looks really good. I like him. He was a -3, of course, in like a couple games with the Ottawa Senators, but he has to learn his way through, and he'll definitely do that in development camp like he did in the preseason coming up. So definitely he'll get his share. Don't worry. So reviewing about these forwards, definitely you got some good youngsters, and you got some senior guys in here like Ryan, Nisibov. Pajot, yeah, I guess you can call that a little Baghill, kind of like those guys to kind of help out to lead this team, these youngsters on this forward group. Alright, moving on to defense, you got Thomas Chabot. He was really good. He looked really good. I like his skating. I like his ability. His playmaking. Definitely, I really enjoy his playmaking. Then we have Dylan DeMello. I don't know if he'll be on that first line there. That's something I question a lot. But DeMello's pretty good. He's okay. He's on the third pairing, literally. He got traded with the San Jose, whole thing with Carlson. Wolflin is a pretty young, good guy, definitely. We'll see a lot. There's a lot of these players that you just wonder next year, how are they going to do? And Wolflin's one of those guys, like Brown, like Brown, Balslers, Batterson, Arbanoff, Klapik, those guys, Formanton, how do they do, How well do they boost their game with a new coach, DJ Smith? Then you have Zaitsev, really didn't fit in with Toronto, really starting to, maybe he will fit in Ottawa, we'll see. Bransham, I really like his defensive play, great young defenseman. You can see a lot from him, even though he got traded from Vegas Golden Knights to Ottawa for Mark Stone in the first like a 2 seconds or something. And then you have Von Hainsey. He's a pretty good older defenseman, so definitely will bring some seniorship to the role. Definitely we can see that. And, Emil Borecki and Jaros, definitely those guys are really good on seniorship there. And then you have Ledoux and Thompson. Lossie Thompson just got drafted. Maybe he plays a little, maybe he doesn't. We'll see what happens. Ledoux, we'll see. He's a pretty good defenseman. I've seen some good stuff already from him. Goalies, we have Anderson, Nielsen, Hogberg, and Gustafsson. I put all four because you never know if Anderson can play like he does. You never know if Nielsen will do something, what happens around that. So I want to put Hogberg and Gustafsson. Anderson, I thought was absolutely fantastic in 16-17 season. One of my best favorite goaltenders. And he can get back to that, I'll still like him. You know what I mean? Definitely. Nielsen, he's okay backup goaltender. Still, he'll be good. Solid backup goaltender. Hogberg, learning his way, and Gustafsson in the AHL Senators, definitely. Now, since they have $15 million, what are they going to do? Nothing really with that cap. I think they're just going to wait, get these players, get a good team. Definitely, they're not going to be 31st. Well, I guess you could say that, but very low expectations. So we see a little increasing here of these youngsters. Definitely, I think we'll see something. What do they still need? Goaltending, forward, defense, all that stuff, right? But what do they basically need right now, I think, is goaltending. They're trying to work on the forwards, they're trying to work on the defense. But I think goaltending, trying to get that straightened out pretty soon, it's a big part in their team. Because one day, the forwards are going to be fantastic, their defense is going to be fantastic one day. And then they're going to be like, goaltending, you know what I mean? That's the thing I'm wondering about. So they can really do better on that. I can really see some good stuff on that. Definitely we can see some amazing stuff. And yes, this team is looking good for the future. And I hope this team succeeds in the future, and I think we all hope it succeeds. I like when teams are down there and they have to succeed because I feel bad for them, but then they get better, right? So we'll see what happens with the Ottawa Senators. Simon Constable, what do you think? Do they get better, worse? Well, how do you get worse than 31st in the league? Do they, I'm sure 19-20 season we'll kind of see where they are. Are they still going to be in the rebuild for a little bit? Or are they going to... Is it time to transition like the Rangers? They're going to be out of the rebuild pretty soon, like very quickly. Like, how long? Alright, thank you for watching. Any Chalk News support. Like the video, do the bell, comment, share. I think it's going to be at least 3 to 4 more years until they get out of that rebuild. That's what I see. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye.